Tales from the Island of Todor, Episode 2, The Not-So-Sad Story of Afton. Once, a big red tender engine pulling a train couldn't be asked with the bucketing rain. He went under the tunnel, squeaked through his funnel, and wouldn't come out again. The engine's name was Afton. He was in a Claudon Express engine from the LNWR. He was on loan to the Northwestern Railway during its early years. He destroyed a coach through his bad temper, and he pulled the midnight special. Apparently the coach came back to life and made him crash, and he was sent away. Then he was purchased by the island of Todor, and he's been on the island ever since. And he hates his life on the island. But in any case, his driver and fireman would argue with him, but he would not move. The rain will spoil my lovely red paint, gold lining, and silver buffers, he said. Spoil your paint, spluttered his driver. That's the worst excuse I ever heard in my entire life, and I come with a lot of my time. Besides, added the fireman, you don't even have silver buffers, you daft bozo. I don't? Gasped Afton. In that case, I won't move until it stops raining and I get silver buffers too. And I want a wash down, not with that cheap soap and the hose rubbish, mind, and with a fresh rag. I already caught enough hard germs in this rain. You little brat, grumbled his driver. The guard blew his whistle till he had no more breath and waved his flag until his arms ached. But Afton refused to leave the tunnel. I'm not going to spoil my lovely red paint with gold lining and hopefully soon silver buffers for you, he called as the man fell over unconscious. Then, for no reason, along came Sir Tom Marvolo Riddle, the man in charge of all the engines on the island of Todor. He was a shady man, with an expensive suit, a bowler hat, a handsome face, and a personality that makes the devil fear him. For these reasons, everyone calls him the Handsome Git. We will pull you out, said the Handsome Git, but Afton only we steam at him. And stop doing that, snapped the controller. This is my favourite suit and you know it. The Handsome Git ordered all the passengers out of the coaches and made them tie their jackets together to form a rope. Everyone pulled except the Handsome Git because, he said suspiciously, my doctor has forbidden me to pull. But Afton still stayed in the tunnel. Then they tried pushing him from the other end. The Handsome Git called, 1, 2, 5, 3, sir, corrected the guard. Oh, whatever, just push, he snapped. They did, but he didn't help. My doctor has forbidden me to push, he said suspiciously. Of course, his doctor had never done such a thing, but everyone was too busy pushing to claim otherwise. They pushed and pushed and pushed, but Afton still stayed in the tunnel. Then the Handsome Git had an idea. All right then, he said darkly. We'll fight fire with fire. Let's get engines to push him out. So he did, but the only engines that were available was a box cab engine named Clive and a small beefy tank engine named Horace. They soon arrived and they began pushing Afton out of the shed. They pushed and pushed and pushed, but Afton still stayed in the tunnel. Pathetic, Afton said to himself. At last, Timothy came along with a train of explosive. He was going to level up the local primary school and turn it into a prison. He saw the two engines in front of him and stopped. Let me guess, sneered the tank engine. Afton again? Fourth time this month, moaned Horace. I'd say he's a hydrophobe if I didn't know he was such a fussy asshole. Meanwhile, on the other side of the tunnel, everyone argued with Afton. Look, it stopped raining, they said. Yes, but it'll begin again soon, said Afton. And what would become of my red paint then? Anyways, You haven't met my other demands, so you could all just walk to the next station or do something foul like that for all I care. At the rear of the train, Timothy was listening for what little patience he had and buffered up to Horace and Clive. The three engines pushed and pushed and pushed, but Afton still stayed in the tunnel. At last, even the handsome Git gave up. "We will take away your rails," he said to Afton, "and leave you here for always and always and always." "Traffic and convenience be damned!" he yelled. He turned to Afton's driver and fireman, who were too busy playing poker. "How long till the workmen get here?" he asked. "Hang on," said the driver, and he went to find a telephone. He came back 25 minutes later with bad news. About 3 hours." "3 hours?" spluttered the handsome Git. "That's what I get for letting them have breaks." "Sir," called Timothy from the other end, "I have an idea." The handsome Git went down and listened to his plan. Afton waited defiantly. Soon he heard the sound of trucks being unloaded and passengers putting things along the tunnel. Eventually, the handsome Git came back with a plunger on one arm and a wicked grin on his face. "You have your chance, Afton," he said. "Now, you got 5 seconds to get your coaches going again, or I will blow the tunnel sky high." Afton's eyes popped. You wouldn't dare," he stuttered. "You do cost quite a bundle to maintain, you know," smirked the controller. 5, 4, 3, 2... In an instant, Afton splintered to life with a deafening roar. The passengers cheered and danced in delight. They were so happy that they didn't notice that Afton and the coaches ran on without them until too late. "Oh, bugger!" snapped the handsome Git as he threw the detonator to the ground. Boom! Everyone could only stand dumbstruck as dust, grit, and earth flew everywhere. As the dust began to settle, the handsome Git walked over to the 3 tank engines on the other side where the tunnel once stood. "You 3 are going to clean up this mess," he called. Timothy, Clive, and Horace just cringed. The end.